Hey, it's Jen Taub. Do you love your news with an extra helping of Crazy Town? Okay, let's go. Today, it's hard to even describe to you what is going down and why it is going down like it is. And so normally you're supposed to tell your news in the who, what, where, when, why, how order, or the when, where, what, you know what I'm saying. But I want to start with why. Why and what? Why in the world does it appear that there is a coordinated attack by the worst people in the world, the worst people in MAGA world, against Elon Musk? Why is it happening now? I don't yet have the answer to that question. But let's first talk about now the what. And I think the best way I can do this is give you a little teaser and play you a quick TikTok video from Aaron Parnas, because it is the Ute who can capture this especially well. But what I am talking about is Laura Loomer, right? You know, Laura Loomer, the alleged one-time recent side piece of Donald Trump, who has, and it's her choice, had a lot of extensive plastic surgery and fills, apparently, to make her more attractive in that sort of Mar-a-Lago world. I'm not judging, I am just describing. Yes, the same Laura Loomer who is a rabid homophobe and transphobe and hates immigrants, right? So there's nothing I can say really good about her other than the fact that she, for some reason, feels empowered to take down Elon Musk. So let's play for you Aaron Parnas describing what happened. And after you listen, I will break it down a little more step by step. But the bottom line is, where this happened was on Twitter, of course, Elon Musk's site that he refers to as X. And when it happened is like yesterday. Here we go, guys. It is fun. Get your coffee ready. You are going to love this.
Some major breaking news. MAGA civil war is taking place on social media right now because some of Donald Trump's biggest allies are going after Elon Musk. So this all started when Laura Loomer, who is one of Donald Trump's biggest fans, and Trump has also spoken very favorably about her, put this out on Twitter attacking Elon Musk and DOGE, saying, is DOGE a way to cut spending or redirect the spending toward the pet projects of tech bro billionaires?
Damn it. You're right. It's Harry Sisson. And I have actually met him in person. And I don't know why I called him Aaron Parnas. My apologies, guys. This kid is awesome. I'm going to start at the beginning because I messed it up. Here we go. Listen to Harry Sisson. Oops.
Some major breaking news. MAGA civil war is taking place on social media right now because some of Donald Trump's biggest allies are going after Elon Musk. So this all started when Laura Loomer, who is one of Donald Trump's biggest fans, and Trump has also spoken very favorably about her, put this out on Twitter attacking Elon Musk and DOGE, saying, is DOGE a way to cut spending or redirect the spending toward the pet projects of tech bro billionaires? It's looking like the latter. And Elon Musk responded by saying, Loomer is trolling for attention. Ignore. And man, let me tell you, that sent Laura Loomer into a spiral. She responded to Elon Musk saying, you bought your way into MAGA 5 minutes ago after Trump almost lost his life. Remember when you voted for Biden and propped up DeSantis? We all know you only donated your money so you could influence immigration policy and protect your buddy Xi. You pretend like you've made such a sacrifice and investment donating to Trump and buying X, but you've only increased your own wealth. And she finished by saying, P.S. you aren't president. Trump is, and he already has a beautiful wife. I'm not sure what role you're trying to fill, but we voted for Trump, not you. And then she actually concluded by saying the elephant in the room is that Elon Musk, who is not MAGA and never has been, is a total drag on the Trump transition. He's a stage 5 clinger who has overstayed his welcome at Mar-a-Lago in an effort to become Trump's side piece. Like, wow, MAGA is imploding right before our very eyes. They're going after each other. Donald Trump's best friends are going after Musk and vice versa. I mean, man, everybody grab your popcorn because this is not going to be pretty.
Holy shit. Now, I know you heard a lot there, and we're going to step through it. Some pieces I want to highlight. But number one, I did not know until yesterday what the F a stage 5 clinger is. And I, instead of telling you right away, I'm going to ask my friends Oh, thank you for your generosity. Oh my goodness, so many gifts, guys. Okay, who here in the chat knows what a stage 5 clinger is? What movie? Okay, let's do it first. Whoever guesses this first in the chat, I'm going to send you a gift. You'll just have to email me. You'll just have to email me like via Blue Sky or something, your address. What is a stage 5 clinger? Tell me. What is it? I'm waiting for the first person to win. What is a stage 5 clinger? What fucking movie does it come from? I am waiting. It is not DEFCON 5. It comes from a movie, stage 5 clinger, guys. Okay. No, it is not a Klingon. Stage 5 clinger. Guys, you can Google it. You guys can. I mean, come on, man. Stage 5 clinger. What movie? Guys, what movie? Not Spaceballs, not Christmas Story. I can't tell you because I want somebody to win. People, yes, Blue Jays. It's from Wedding Crashers. Okay, Blue Jays. You are going to have to somehow get my contact information. So we will figure that out later. But please, if you can, Blue Jays, go over to Blue Sky, follow me. I will follow you and then we can communicate. And I'm going to send you your special gift. Oh my God. Okay. So a stage 5 clinger comes from the movie Wedding Crashers. And apparently, a stage 5 clinger now, like in the Urban Dictionary, actually refers to someone who is obsessive over someone they first, how do the kids say, hooked up with. Okay. That's what it is. I have not even seen the movie Wedding Crashers. I did not know what a stage 5 clinger was. I thought it was a weird kind of cancer reference, but I don't know. So that is what that is. So now let's back up. Yes. I wouldn't call it a civil war. I would call it the usual meltdown and misfunction in MAGA world. But again, it looks like Laura Loomer is empowered to say all the quiet parts out loud. And here's the deal. Why is Laura Loomer on Twitter with her megaphone? And, let's talk about exactly what she's saying in a moment. But I ask you, why is Laura Loomer on her megaphone shouting at Elon Musk? And why is he responding? What's going on here? Now, I think, given that it wasn't just Laura Loomer, but not surprisingly, it was Ann Coulter and others, I think in part this does relate to policy issues, but I think it's because Donald Trump himself, as you know, has been complaining that Elon Musk, who's been pulling his strings, is still pulling his strings. And even though Elon Musk invested several $100 million, couple $100 million into this election, Donald Trump doesn't like to be bought. And unlike Vladimir Putin, who actually would go so far as to poison an enemy, all Elon Musk has is money. And all money buys, and the X platform buys, is a publicity war. And even though Elon Musk thinks he can crush anybody, he doesn't have as many fans as Donald Trump does. And I know this sounds like some weird high school movie, but this is the fact. And this is the beginning, I believe, of a proxy war being fought on Donald Trump's behalf by Laura Loomer. Now, before I kind of show you some of those, more of those details, I want to have you remember just the other day. Remember the other day when I had a crazy town that I shared with you? I think it was recorded on Sunday, but I just showed it to you the other day. And it was Laura Loomer getting into a fight with Milo Yiannopoulos. And I can't believe we are doing this, but we are. Because even though this seems like petty influencer bullshit, this stuff is what got Donald Trump elected in the first place, right? So let's just look at it like we are anthropologists visiting some sort of weird tribe, because we are part of that. We are not distant from it, unfortunately. So remember the other day, Milo and Laura got into a fight. And a little backstory that I didn't add, Milo had been trashing, I guess what I call it, mocking her, TikTok mocks, or really Twitter mocks of her, basically saying stuff that Laura Loomer denies. And one of the things he wrote, and if you have children nearby or you're squeamish, maybe cover your ears now. But one of the things Milo put up on Twitter at one point about Laura Loomer was that he claims that Laura Loomer told him that Donald Trump said to her. So in other words, Donald Trump in an intimate moment said to Laura Loomer, this is the allegation, that she gave him the best blowjob he had in his life. And apparently she was so proud of that she told Milo. Now, who knows if that is true, but that is the context. That is what we are swimming in, so to speak. That's why they kind of hate each other. Remember, Milo had his sort of fall from status a few years back, and I showed you that video of him trying to peddle statues and things and pretend he's a born-again Christian. Well, the other day they were together, and here was that showdown. And I want you to listen very carefully to what Loomer said to Milo on Sunday. Milo was like, the family doesn't want you at Mar-a-Lago. And she's like, no, you're not supposed to be at Mar-a-Lago. I am. Okay, listen carefully to how recently she said she had been at dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Let's go.
Yeah, you were hiding behind the garbage can. Oh, yeah.
You know, the period where you could just say things and people would assume that you were not lying is over for you.
You're a liar, Milo. Everything that you wrote about me is a complete lie.
No,
everything that you said. You said I was banned from Mar-a-Lago. I was at Mar-a-Lago 2 weeks ago for dinner.
You should really...
I was at Mar-a-Lago 2 weeks ago.
She said, I was at Mar-a-Lago 2 weeks ago. Huh. Fascinating. So she was at Mar-a-Lago 2 weeks ago. She must have heard that Donald Trump was annoyed with Elon Musk being around, because I'm sure Musk was around. And even if she didn't, if she was at Mar-a-Lago 2 weeks ago, she feels close or accepted by or embraced in some way by Donald Trump. So I believe she's doing his bidding. Now, let's take a look at those some details of those tweets. Okay, here's how it starts. Let's look at the content, because the thing is, she's not wrong. And I hate to say it, that on some of these points, she's not wrong. I don't want to shoot the messenger. I want to look at her message. So she said, the elephant in the room is that Elon Musk, who is not MAGA and never has been, is a total fucking drag on the Trump transition. Now, here's the part. He's a stage 5 clinger who overstayed his welcome at Mar-a-Lago in an effort to become Trump's side piece, I guess she should know, and be the point man for all of his accomplices in big tech to slither into Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so we already dissected what the stage 5 clinger is. We know that she considers it an insult to call a man a sidekick of another man. But the point here is she sees him as a Trojan horse, someone who is trying to do the bidding of himself in big tech. Okay, what is this about? Oh, I got to blow this one up. Sorry, it's so small. I'm blowing it up for me. You might not be able to see this. Okay, so, the commentary is wild here. Here we go. Laura Loomer said, is DOGE, this is that fake department, the Department of Government Efficiency being run by Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk and Elon Musk's mother who sits in. Is DOGE a way to cut spending or redirect the spending toward the pet projects of tech bro billionaires? It's looking like the latter, TBH, to be honest, right? Okay. This is the part I like. You heard that. Hey, this is quotes. It's got quotes like sarcasm. Hey, let's convince the peasants that we are saving them money as we enrich ourselves. Then when they find out and speak out, we will, and probably the rest of that is like blame someone else. And then she says, is DOGE real or is it a vanity project? Can we have this conversation without people crying? And guys, look at what Elon Musk said. He said, Loomer is trolling for attention. Ignore. Okay. People didn't ignore it. She continued. And excuse me if I have these not in the exact order. You get the idea. So let me just pull back for a second. Loomer has done a couple things. One, here she has attacked Elon Musk as being an opportunist. Check. She has described DOGE as a vanity project. Check. She has described MAGA and Trump as fleecing ordinary people while they enrich themselves. Check. Okay. So what else did she say? And this is kind of gorgeous here. Nobody can afford to live off $70,000 a year in today's America. Apparently, she's looking at what she was able to see the salaries that people were being paid here at one of Elon Musk's companies. I feel like this is the salary database. I'm at Tesla. Yes, she's looking at this for 2024. And why does she have some of this? Well, this isn't the whole salary database. This is for people who have what's called H-1B visas. These are the people who are not from America who come here. I think it's great. And I guess this is reporting that either is public information because they're on these visas or she got her hands on it. It doesn't really matter. But what she says here, nobody can afford to live off $70,000 a year in today's America. Stop crying about declining birth rates when you want us to live like a bunch of welfare queens. Can't have a family and keep having more kids while making $70,000 a year and also working 80 hours a week. This is brutal. You can make money working 40 hours a week at overtime at McDonald's. You can make more money working 40 hours a week and overtime at McDonald's each year. Holy shit. She's not wrong. So what is she doing here? She's saying, and this is one of her big beefs with Elon Musk and Silicon Valley. It's that they are saying they can't find workers in America and they have to therefore get people H-1B visas. And remember, MAGA, their number one xenophobic thing is to deport immigrants and no more immigration. That's what they want. They hate immigrants, right? They want to get rid of birthright citizens. They want to send immigrants home, specifically immigrants who are brown. Let's be clear. What this got into yesterday is a lot of the immigrants who work in tech come from places that are predominantly people who are not perceived as white, such as specifically people from India. And this is why you got a lot of attacks through the last couple of days, honest to God, on J.D. Vance and his wife and on Vivek Ramaswamy. Okay, so Laura Loomer, in her racism, hatred, and xenophobia, is also, because she's awful, pointing out that the statement that Elon Musk can't find workers in America is bullshit, that he just wants to pay people less money. And then there's more. Ann Coulter, also a terrible person. Ann Coulter, who said to Vivek Ramaswamy that he liked his ideas, but she would not vote for him because he was Indian. I saw that online. I believe it's true. I did not watch the video, but I will confirm it. Now, Ann Coulter said, American workers can leave a company. Imported H-1B workers can't. Tech wants indentured servants, not high-skilled workers. What does she mean by that? Well, if you're here on an H-1B visa, you're here with a particular company, right? And if you lose that job because you talk back, you speak out about corruption, you object to working conditions, they will send you home. So that is what she is pointing out here. Again, a terrible woman, but here she is actually pointing out a piece of truth. Now, here's what Elon Musk said, and he dug himself a deeper grave. And this is his comment, I think, related. It's not directed at Ann Coulter. It's directed generally at people criticizing him for supporting immigration. Your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. Oh, so you are saying that in America, people are lazy and stupid? Or if you're not saying that, Elon Musk, are you saying that our higher education system needs to invest more in people who want to go into engineering? And that could happen, right? If people like Elon Musk were actually taxed their fair share, we could invest in higher education and maybe give full scholarships to people who wanted to study engineering. I mean, there is a reason why people don't pursue college degrees and why. And there's another issue around studying engineering, that the way it's taught in the US in higher education is brutal. You could be an extremely brilliant person, and the way it's sort of like a hazing ritual where they try to humiliate people and weed them out who could do the work. Okay, so there's something effed up, and there would be a way to fix it other than what he's doing. I have no objection to immigration. I think it's great, but I'm saying he has been caught out on his bullshit. Okay, so that is what is going on really right now in the MAGA showdown world. So it is now, my friends, time for the whiteboard. It is the Friday whiteboard time, and I do indeed have my whiteboard right here. Look, it's right here. But before I get to the whiteboard, I want to tell you what we have for the rest of the show. Of course, we have our person of the day, and we're going to have Crazy Town. But I have added a new feature. I've added a new feature before person of the day, and it's called TIL, Today I Learned. Because every day, don't you find something out and you're like, oh my God, how did I not know that? And I am guessing that maybe some of you knew, but some of you didn't. Like, I am not like Donald Trump, who, suddenly discovered something and said, does anyone know about this? Does anyone know the Panama Canal exists? Stuff like that. I promise you not to be that condescending. Okay, now let us do our whiteboard. Okay, this purpose of the whiteboard every Friday is to identify what are the promises. I'm knocking my computer, sorry. What are the promises that Donald Trump has made? What are the promises Donald Trump has made, and how is he doing on them? And I wanted to crowdsource to make sure, and maybe we can, what am I doing here? It's hard to do backwards. Okay, I want to crowdsource what you all think those promises have been, and we can adjust this. I can wipe this down. I don't need to, keep it the same every week if I want to adjust, but I want to kind of get to a stable list of things he promised. So my first thing I'm going to write down on my list is grocery. Okay. Can you see that? Grocery, right? Grocery. So what did Donald Trump promise about grocery, right? It's a beautiful word, grocery. And he said, Donald Trump promised, yes, Nick, cheap eggs and gas, right? That's what he said. He said it would be less expensive, that inflation would go down, right? So what we saw with grocery, and I'm going to write prices, this is money, will go down, right? That's my writing. It's lovely, I know. Okay, grocery. How has he been doing on grocery? Well, already Donald Trump has admitted that, he can't guarantee that he'll bring prices down because, once they're up, it's hard to bring them down. I haven't heard him talk about the price of eggs or pose in front of anyone with any products and with a list of promises. But this is what he said, and he's already backing away that. On top of that, in terms of grocery, as we already know, grocery prices are already poised to go up because of his promise to impose cross-the-board tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. So that will increase the prices that the stores who import avocados, etc., have to pay. Plus, we know it's not just avocados, guys, but I love avocados. It's like part of my diet, and I just know the price is going to go up, right? Also, that Canada has promised a trade war. And so if we start to increase prices, because they know, by the way, if we charge, with people importing things from Canada, right? If we impose higher taxes on those imports, right? That means the prices will go up, and we might, as Americans, not want to pay for those Canadian goods, which may decrease their sales. So they are going to engage in, a trade war. And that means they're going to impose tariffs on things like when we export Heinz ketchup to Canada, and on and on and on. So this isn't going to be great, and it's going to increase prices. We also know that Donald Trump's plan, and we'll get to that on the list, to deport like 10 million people and first put them in concentration camps here in America will also decrease tax receipts because they pay in billions of dollars when even if you're undocumented, and also will mean that there won't be as many people to pick vegetables and so on in the US because a lot of people who are undocumented do that work. Okay, so groceries. He promised that they would actually go down. What is happening? That is not happening. They appear to be, here's my chart, going up. So far on groceries, he's not doing that great. What else has Donald? And also, Nick says tariff hoarding is up. MJ Atkins says most imports from Canada are oil and gas, plus steel, aluminum, and wood. So grocery is going to go up. So are the prices of other things that we do. Building, we could go on, cars, etc. Okay. Besides grocery, his other big thing, and these aren't necessarily good things on his promises list, immigrants. He is against certain types of immigrants, not his wife. He's not necessarily against Elon Musk, although he is at this point, right? He's not against billionaires who want to spend in America because he said they should come. But he has promised, as part of this sort of Project 2025 that he wants to now appears to be implicitly embracing, his advisor, maybe deputy chief of staff, I think will be Steve Miller, and he wants to deport 10 million people. Well, so far, obviously, they haven't taken office and they're not doing any deportations. But what is Donald Trump doing about immigration? Well, so far, he is worried, you can see, based on this attack on Elon Musk, that Elon Musk's plan to increase the number of people who can come in with these H-1B visas, he's worried that that's going to harm his plan. So he's already on that front seeing contradictions. Now, I, for one, am glad that so far he doesn't appear that he will be succeeding in doing this, but I want to let you know that it really is his plan to do this. And I will tell you, you can see that it is his plan. And so far, we are in the disbelief phase of this plan. Let me play this for you. Again, we've got two top things. Grocery, it's not going to go down. It's going up, as well as other prices. Immigrants, he says that they are going to, there'll be fewer immigrants. What is actually happening right now? Let's listen. You might remember this.
We'll launch the largest deportation program in American history.
You better start packing now.
Voted for Trump?
Yes.
If in fact there are mass deportations, does that worry you?
Even though he made that particular political statement, it was
Trump.
just to corner those votes for him to get elected.
So she doesn't believe, you saw the rest of this, she doesn't think that she or any member of her family is undocumented, will be deported. She's not worried. So far, it doesn't look like anything is happening. I really hope he fails at that. Now, what else should we add to our whiteboard, friends? We've got grocery. We have got immigrants. Oh, I know what he also wants to do. Cut taxes on billionaires and corporations and 100 millionaires, right? That is his promise. He is poised to do that. That is, I believe, the one thing that he will be able to accomplish. And you may have seen Larry Kudlow the other day on CNBC saying, yeah, this is all we want. This is where you should start, right? Don't start with lowering groceries. Don't deport people. Please just cut our fucking taxes. And by the way, because Donald Trump wasn't able to raise the debt ceiling so he could fit that in under Congress's rules, right? He will need to have his DOGE people. He can't really piss off the DOGE people, or he could find someone else to do it, because their plan is to cut taxes on billionaires like Jeff Bezos and cut their taxes, right? And in order to pay for those tax cuts for these billionaires to buy another yacht or buy another government, they are going to, their plan is cut Social Security, cut Medicare, cut everything they can. They want your grandma to die. They want us. They don't care about us and all. Cut spending on vaccine research to pay for all of that. So that looks like something that he is going to accomplish. Now, what else is he said he's going to do? Someone said he's going to cut the cost of power. I'm putting that in grocery. That seems very doubtful. Now, I know that he's made subsequent post-election promises of things that he's going to do, like take over Greenland and Panama, but that was not before the election. Now, one thing he promised to do before the last election, he'd be happy to do, was share his personal tax return with us. Has Donald Trump ever done that? No, he has not. He also promised, and I'm running out of whiteboard space, that he would be happy to sit down with the Mueller investigation. Has he done that? No. Now, one more thing I have to say that he's promised to do is January 6th. He has promised to free the people, he claims, except the most violent ones. Yeah, I doubt that. To free them, to free the people who violently attacked the Capitol, basically to either commute their sentences or pardon them. He's promised to do that. He has also promised, this is to pursue his enemies. So far, he's made some good progress on threatening people and having his henchmen threaten people. And we shall see. So those are the things I have on my whiteboard for today. And so far, Donald Trump has been an entire failure. Oh, wait, there's one more. Entire failure at anything good that he promised. And it seems to be ginning up things to accomplish really one thing, which is to help the super rich get richer at our expense, to go after his personal enemies. That seems to be the main thing that he has promised to do. Now, the other thing he promised to do is to immediately end wars, right? He said the minute he got elected, in a day, he would end the war in Gaza. Has not happened. He said, I don't know if immediately, but at least when the minute he gets elected, that he would end the war in Ukraine. He didn't say how he was going to end it, but it was going to be very simple. He claimed, we all worry that he is going to let Vladimir Putin just take obscene amounts of territory. We shall see. So this is my whiteboard for today. I will keep you updated every Friday on how he's doing. And so I remember what was on there. I'll take a picture so we can go through all of those items. And, oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you for the follows. Now, let's talk about today I learned. And let me just say, I'll do the thank yous later. Okay, so today I learned. So yesterday, actually, one of my kids for Hanukkah gave me a book. She loves used bookstores. And this book is like a curmudgeon's guide, or I think is what it's called. Or it's a curmudgeon's handbook. And it was like printed in the 1980s. So, it's old. I think it was one that was printed. It's like the Canadian version. So I'm not sure what the US title is. Anyway, I don't have the book in front of me. I feel like the author, it's upstairs, but I feel like the author is Wincour or someone like that. Oh, here we go. I found it. The book is called The Portable Curmudgeon. And the editor was John Wincour, Winokur. And I think it's been reprinted. And it will allow me to read a sample, not search inside. Otherwise, I would show you what it looks like. But what did I learn? Okay. Dorothy Parker. I think many of you know who Dorothy Parker was. And you also may know that she was, that's a couple things about Dorothy Parker. If you don't know who she is, right? She was this sort of clever pundit, famous for sitting around a bar in New York City, sitting around the Algonquin Club, apparently drinking martinis and insulting people, right? And she was maybe a theater critic. That's how I knew of Dorothy Parker, right? That was all I really knew, things that she had said. What I did not know, and I found out yesterday, is that Dorothy Parker was born Dorothy Rothschild in New Jersey. She was born in 1893. But what I found out yesterday, which blew my mind, is that Dorothy Parker wrote the screenplay for the very first version of the film A Star is Born. Did you know that? I swear to you, A Star is Born. Now, I knew that there was also, let me just tell you this thing, that I knew of the Barbara Streisand, Chris Christopherson Star is Born. And I thought that that was the first one, or maybe I didn't really think, and that the remake was the one with Lady Gaga, right? But no, there was actually, The Star is Born was initially a film where she wrote the screenplay, and it was released in 1937. And then there have been, of course, several remakes, right? It was made in 1937. And then there was the Judy Garland version in, I think, 1954. Then it was remade with Barbara Streisand. And then, of course, Lady Gaga. And who was her co-star? I shouldn't forget. Oh, Bradley Cooper. So who knew that Dorothy Parker wrote that screenplay? I blame myself. Yeah, see, Kevin Rohn, it was today's years old when he found out. Yeah, today I learned. And no, guys, yeah, it was 1937. The 1937 film starred people, I don't even know who they are right now. So anyway, the point is, unfortunately, her legacy is that people just remember her for snark. But who knew? So now I knew. Okay. Now, before we get too crazy town, thank you guys. I want to tell you who our person of the day is. And I hope this isn't too saccharine for you all, but all you guys are the person of the day. This is my last show of the year. No, this is my last Friday show of the year. What am I saying? Monday and Tuesday, I think, are still December, last time I checked. But it's my last Friday show of the year, and I'm feeling very sentimental. And I feel like we've built something really special here together. I had a YouTube account, but I really didn't use it much at all. I probably had like 10 followers in August. And now we have built our network here to more than 8,000 people who subscribe to Taub Live. We have had peaks of over 31,000 viewers. On average, we are averaging around 3,000 to 4,000 viewers per show. And the data shows that people stick around, right? We're not just getting someone who sees a thumbnail, clicks and goes, this isn't for me. Like, you guys are watching, and I appreciate you so very much. And I want to add, for those of you who have become, so-called members of the show, please note that I'm going to have a private Zoom for all of you. I think we have almost 100. So I'm going to figure out how to do a Zoom in January so we can actually talk, real talk, not me just like talking at you and reading the chat. So if you're interested in becoming an actual member in that way, I think there's something you can click on, and please do that. And if we get too large as a membership, I'll break it down into subgroups so it's not like a giant situation where no one gets a chance to talk and share. Okay. And that brings us to Crazy Town. Let's do it. I mean, the best part about Crazy Town is when that little the drumming kicks in, right? Okay. Oh, speaking of drumming, a little side note before we say Crazy Town. Michael was watching this movie last night called Whiplash. It's from 2014. I won't give the plot away, but it involves a drummer. Who knew that drumming could be so emotionally and physically taxing? I certainly didn't. Okay. So, I don't know. I feel like this year there have been so many good crazy towns. And so I wanted to repeat 2 crazy towns for you. One, it looks like Nick Fuentes and Donald Trump doing the 2 jerk hand dance. And then I've got another. So let's play you this one to warm you up for the really craziest crazy town of the year. Here we go.
I'll tell you about TikTok.
Actually, that's not Nick Fuentes. That's a sidekick of, oh my God. This guy is, hold on.
I'll tell you about TikTok.
Okay. That was one of these sidekicks, oh my God, of this, I think his name is Andrew Tate. This is one of Andrew Tate's sidekicks, Andrew Tate, who is in prison for trafficking and so on. So that was really crazy. But I think the craziest of all crazy towns, I'm kind of doing memory lane here, is this one. Let's play the music a little bit more. Okay, this is RFK Jr., who is going to be our Secretary of Health and Human Services unless someone steps in and stops him. RFK Jr. trying to explain why he had put a stabbed bear carcass in Central Park, and watching Roseanne Barr, looking more normal than him, trying to understand. Here we go.
Supposed to meet them there at like maybe 8 or 9. I was driving up maybe, really early, like 7, and then.
Sorry, it's a lot louder in this clip. You might have to lower your volume.
A woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear, and it was very good condition, and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And so then we went hawking, and I had the bear in my car. And then we had a really good day, and we went late. We were catching a lot of game, and the people really loved it, so we stayed late. And instead of going back to my home in Westchester, I had to go right to the city because there was a dinner at Peter Luger's Steakhouse. And at the end of the dinner, it went late, and I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport. And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car because that would have been bad. So then I thought, at that time, this was a little bit of the redneck in me. There'd been a series of bicycle accidents in New York. They had just put in the bike lanes, and saw a couple of people had gotten killed, and it was every day, and people had gotten badly injured. Every day it was in the press. And so I thought,
I just can't keep doing it, you guys. I'm just going to play us out with the Crazy Town music, and you can watch Roseanne Barr's face kind of going, what the fuck is he talking about? Okay, here we go.
and I said, I had an old bike in my car that somebody asked me to get rid of it. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. It'll be funny for people. So